So all in all, we're sitting here with a prosecutor that has made the promise to destroy Trump or to get him locked up or whatever you want to call it. You have the judge's daughter who started a campaign for funding to prosecute Trump. So, yes, this is totally not a political prosecution. Hi guys, and welcome back to the JoBluemann channel, where we talk about news, views and reviews. Today we're talking about the unfortunate court case that Trump has been found guilty of. Very controversial, actually unacceptable. Some of the legal scholars, they just can't believe it, and previous prosecutors have said this should never have even been taken to court. Federal campaign finance law, he was found guilty of. Tax fraud, he was found guilty of. Falsification of business records, he was found guilty of. But the most scary thing is the judge changed the law specifically for the jury to not have to find common ground on all three charges. They only had to pick one that they agreed with, and that would then basically make him guilty. So if four of the jury said, okay, well, we think that there was tax fraud, that would be guilty. If four of them said falsification of business records, that would be guilty, even if they disagree that it's tax fraud. And then the other 3 or 4 said federal campaign finance law, then the other 2 doesn't matter. So that doesn't even make sense, to be dead honest. I don't understand how this is possible. What they're doing, this is political prosecution, to be dead honest. And everybody can see it. And any normal person who sees this and actually has a little bit of brains, even if they don't like Donald Trump, they can see that this is political prosecution. And this will be driving this is going to drive people towards voting for Trump. That's my honest opinion about the story. And I don't think it's an opinion, I think it's a fact. I mean, if you look at the numbers. So this Judge Merchant's, it's outrageous jury instruction, but don't have to agree on the means. So in other words, that means that the 3 things, the 3 pillars that I just spoke about, they don't have to agree on all 3 for him to be found guilty. It's been labeled a coup de grace, I think that's correct, by legal analysts. Prosecutors were permitted to present evidence on the possible crimes in the trial. So it wasn't even real, it was possible. The evidence wasn't real, it was a possibility. He opens the way for the jury to convict Trump without unanimously agreeing on what he is convicted of. It literally releases juries from the obligation to make a unanimous decision on the key prosecution. Trump says it's an election conspiracy by unlawful means, the idiot judge said. Some say it's an antithesis of standards for juries to not have to agree on a crime. That means the jury doesn't have to agree on what crime he committed to convict him. Now there was a tweet by Marco Rubio that he sent out where he said, judge in Trump case in New York, obviously in New York, judge told the jury that they don't have to unanimously agree on which crime was committed, as long as they all at least pick one. Now, Scoop, our wonderful go-to place when we want to fact check everything, they've come back and said that this tweet is incorrect, and so on and so on, like they would usually fact check anything to do with Donald Trump and say it's not real. And I've actually I make use of ground news, and it actually gives you a rating of if it's factual, if it's left leaning, right leaning, if it's opinion. And this is the scariest part. It rated the article as factual, and yes, I don't know how they got to that one, because if you've got analysts, legal analysts, and you've got prosecutors who say that this is unprecedented and unacceptable and should never have happened, then you you start to think to yourself, how can they actually say that this is a factual documentation? My opinion of the whole situation is that this is going to drive a lot of people towards Trump, even if they don't like him, because they can see it's a political prosecution. And I mean, there's no doubt that it is a political prosecution. I mean, they're going after him. So, but what I want to see is, because I haven't found what the implications are. Is he going to go to jail and run the country from jail? Because I think this is the push to get Trump to get nominated as president. Plus, you have articles that are from yesterday that have now said that finally the Democrats are walking away from Biden. So in other words, he's gone. So I don't know who's gonna take his place as the runner against Trump, but good luck to them. And we still have the debate coming up, so that's going to be awesome. It's going to be like who said the other day, it'll be the only time that they'll ever watch CNN, or was it NSNBC? I'm not sure which one is going to be showing it, but it's going to be awesome. But getting back to this whole legal situation, it is unprecedented. It is illegal. It is a prosecution of a presidential candidate, and anybody that can't see it is totally a bunch of fucking idiots. I mean, they've been going after him since before 2016, and it doesn't matter whether or not you like Donald Trump or whether or not you don't like Donald Trump. He was good for the country, to the detriment of the rest of the world, because he made America great again, which isn't always that good, because the dollar was strong, the economy was flourishing, he was stopping exporting jobs, he was bringing back jobs to America. Everything that they said that was going to go wrong, I mean, he cut laws for businesses, and I mean everything was twisted around and so on. I mean, now he's just campaigning for the rich and for his friends and so on. But look at the employment rate that there was at that stage when he actually implemented the laws because I believe that unions are the biggest problem that we have, because they restrict businesses from employing people because you can't fire somebody if they're useless. So you're stuck with somebody if you employ him because of unions. The legal matter, I just think it's pushing more and more people towards Trump. I think it's the biggest mistake the Democrats have made. No, Biden was the biggest mistake. This was the second biggest mistake. Cheers.